Hello, welcome. Terry here, and this is part one of the Carisma Coyote kit build video. Like a lot of my build videos, I don't go through stages as I build them because everyone wants to see the mistakes I make, and it's not really me, so I go through stages and then update as I progress. So in this video you're going to have a look at the shocks. We're also going to have a look at both the axles which have been completed. So first of all, the shocks. I have built 4 of these, and they went together fine. They feel really nice and progressive. You don't get any oil in the kit, but I've got plenty of my own, so that's fine. They seem really nice. They seem really good. No issues there. But I'm not going to be using them because the main aim for this project is to put a killer body D90 hard shell onto the chassis. Now, I know it can be done because I've seen it, but I don't know how exactly, so I'm going to take you on that journey to see how many mistakes I make. So, yeah, I haven't done the shell unboxing yet. The videos are a bit out of sync, so hopefully, I'll do that separately because it's quite detailed. But in the end, I will be showing you how I've put it on the body and how that's worked. So, I'm not going to be using these shocks because they're 100mm and they're too big. So, a lot of research, and people seem to use the team associated 70mm or 80mm shocks. These are dual springs, dual rate. They just come in a bag with no instructions, so I have no idea. You've got another set of springs, a black set of springs, so I have no idea if the black set are softer than the blue set. I guess I'll have to try them. I haven't taken the black set out yet, I just haven't had time. Now, I've done quite a lot of research, and people seem to use these quite a lot. So I've researched on YouTube and forums and stuff, and they seem quite good. So I thought, right, well, might as well just go with the masses, right? So these are 70mm. I wanted it quite low with very little gap on the wheel arches, but some people use 70, some people use 80, depending on their chassis, depending on the setup. So I've gone for 70. That may be a mistake. We'll have to wait and see. But yes, so I do have 4 of those. The other 2 are in the box. Now let's get on to the axles. I am really quite surprised at this. It's very different to any other kit I've built. So I've built cross kits. I haven't built a Traxxas kit, but I've stripped one down and rebuilt it a few times to clean it. And I've built an Axial SCX10 too. And I've built some WPL kits. This is different to any other kit I have built before. Now, I'm going to look at the back axle. They're both pretty much the same, but it's the back axle has got less gubbins on it, so it's easier to kind of show you and explain without steering arms and stuff being in the way. So, what's interesting, this is seen as, I guess, as a budget kit from the price of it, and the axle comes in quite a few different sections. So this bit, so forget the end here, so this bit here, this little part where my fingers are, there, that's separate. It comes off completely. So it bolts on, you can see the bolts here, it bolts on here to the section where the crown gear goes or the main gear goes. So this bit there with the link attachments, or the holes for the links to go, and the suspension, they're all separate, which to me, I would have thought that it'd be easier to make one moulding of a whole axle than to have it in separate bits. But what do I know? If it's cheaper, I don't know. So then what happens is I will put some pictures up as well as things, as I go through points, because obviously they're together so you can't see inside. And there's a few things that I want to, talk about and bring to your attention. So you get these 2 sections that bolt to the center section here, and then you get like an area inside which kind of pushes into each side of the crown gear, and then the diff cover goes over the top. So very strange, different setup. I shouldn't say strange. I like things being done differently, and it intrigues me as to why. What was the reason? They've done some research to find that's a better way. I don't know, but they've sealed up nicely. They are plastic. I'm probably going to leave them plastic, to be fair, because again, this kit's going to be done on a budget. Now, apart from the gearbox, I have spied some proper bearings and some rubber seal bearings, I believe. The gearbox will be in the next video, but they've got bushes in this kit that have been supplied. Now, spoke to a friend of mine, and because, you know, I don't really know the difference, I did look it up quickly, but as far as I can tell, bushes, they sap a bit of power. They can wear, but there's practically no maintenance. Now, it's interesting because they're all the way through the axle, it's just bushes, which, you know, when I opened it up, I thought, that's strange, not had that before. So that's very different. So I don't know whether that's a budget thing, good thing, or a bad thing, because in my mind, if it was a really good thing, surely Traxxas would do it, right? And Axial would do it, Cross would do it. Don't know, you tell me. It's going to be interesting to see how these bear up, because, you know, with bearings, they can seize and they get stuck. And I'm assuming this won't seize and get stuck. Well, what probably will happen, I guess, is, you know, you've all had it where you've not bashed a rig, but taken it through the mud, and the shaft, I've had it as well, seizes to the bearing. The bearing's okay, but you can't get the bearing off the shaft because all the mud and crud's got in there, and it's, you know, you're trying to get it off. Is it going to seize in that way instead of a bearing going? Who knows? This rig is not going to be babied by any stretch of the imagination. It's going to go through the mud, it's going to be run in winter, so longevity will be interesting. It's something I can report back on. The axles, they spin nice and smooth. It's absolutely lovely. Front and back are exactly the same. There's a nice load of grease in there now. Interestingly, the small gear in the axle, normally when this little shaft goes in here, you've got a gear sitting inside here, small one, which then connects to the bigger crown gear. That normally, in all the kits I've built, or stripped and reassembled, there's, to keep the gear in place on the shaft, I will put a picture up of this setup, there's normally a little C-clip, which are a nightmare. Well, they work, but if trying to get them on, if you misplace them when you're trying to clip them into the little groove on the shaft, they can go flying across the room, and I have had that on a number of occasions. This has got a little Allen bolt that just screws in the end to keep the gear onto the shaft. Never seen that before either. Again, I'll put a picture up. So don't know how that's going to last longevity wise, but again, something different. Why is that so? I have no idea, to be fair. I really don't. Interesting. Let's just quickly go on to the front axle. I'll try and get this in shot here, get the camera to focus. So you haven't got dog bones in here. What you've essentially got is, so anyone that's seen this has got it on the drive shaft as well. These drive shafts are metal, and there's a little spring like you would put on a keyring ring, you know, that slides over the end, and it keeps this pin in place. There is a pin in there, as you can see, hopefully just there. So you slide the pin in, and then you push the wire ring over the top. Now, I've had these fail, these rings, they kind of wear. I've had them fail on drive shafts before, on my cross kit actually, and my WPL kits, where they fail and then the pin just drops out. So being on the axles, they're down low and they will get a lot of wear. You know, they'll rust and there'll be mud and all sorts. Despite cleaning, you know, if you use it hard, you're just gonna wear and it's gonna get dirty. So I'm not sure how they're going to last. I could be completely wrong. I've only had one fail on a drive shaft, to be fair. So we shall see. But so far, I am really quite impressed. It's good. The signs are good. Everything's gone together nicely. I like the way the bags for everything. So you get one bag for each part. You know, each section you're doing. It says open bag E, and in there you've got, it's like separated in squares in its own little container, kind of like in the bag. So you get a bag like this, and it's all kind of joined together with seams, and each set of screws and bits and pieces are in its own little section, which is I'm not explaining it very well, but I think go and check out my fantastic unboxing. It was a fairly bad unboxing. I'm not very good at them, but yeah, it's quite nicely laid out the way that you build it. I'm quite impressed with it so far. So gearbox is next, so that will be the next video. So yeah, all good so far. Let's see how this progresses. Thank you for joining me, on the journey. Hope you enjoy it, because this project is probably going to turn into a bit of a nightmare, because fitting bodies and interiors is always the hardest bit. So, yeah, please stay tuned with me. Please stay safe. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you soon. Bye for now.